So the Traveler is probably the most unused character in the game. But why is that? Well, I tried to ask many players in Genshin community about why they don't use Traveler in the late game, and they had different opinions and reasons about why they don't use Traveler. And if you want to see their answers, then stick till the end of this video. But first, let's discuss some points about why Traveler is not used that much in the game and what are his flaws. So first, the Traveler is technically the base version of almost every character in the game. Yes, like his anemo powers are just like Venti's weak version. His Geo abilities is like Zhongli's weak version. And last but not least, his Electro version is the basic or weak version of the Ball. Well, I think most of you guys have also noticed that his all elements are not good as the other characters, and you can use the Traveler if you don't have any other character of that respective element. So first, if we look at the gameplay mechanics of the Traveler, then he has the lowest base attack next to Hutao and Barbara. Since it's intended, I don't know what the heck miHoYo was thinking. I mean, we gonna turn a Traveler into healer or a useless tank? Well, the Ascension stats is the most useless of all. Because of their low base attack, they should be given more base attack. Like Xiangling is also a free character, but she is far better than the Traveler. And of course, Traveler's multiplier is poorly low and can't even compete on Kazuha, whose role is support if given elemental damage. And yeah, this support sequence is poorly created. It's too slow. I mean, too much slow spinning that doesn't even add additional damage. I mean, what's the point of doing too much spinning when you can't even do additional damage? And yeah, their different elements is useless because you can use it on Abyss, or you need to stop continuing the Abyss just to visit the statue, of course, to change your element. Well, I don't like it personally. And if we talk about his elements, then Anemo Traveler's Q is really not good. It doesn't even proc C6. What a turn off. Geo Traveler kit is good, but they made the Wake of Earth freaking annoying with a massive hitbox that makes your character stuck. And his Electro version is pretty bad too. Not like the other Electro characters. It's really not good. And of course, their constellation is just a scam if you ask me. Nothing really makes them stronger with that. For example, Anemo's main character's E doesn't suck without C1. Not good, right? They removed the part of Traveler's skill and put it on constellation. Of course, the increased level constellation is undeniably not good too. With their lowest multiplier, that level increase is just like a joke if you ask me. Lastly, miHoYo doesn't really care about the Traveler because they can't earn money from them. Traveler means who spends money on a scam banner. And do you know that Bennett and Ether share the same attack sequence on beta and charge attack on official? So yeah, the Travelers have one of the lowest base attacks of any sword user. They also have one of the lowest charge attack ratio compared to any other sword user, and their skills are very basic and not interesting. And yeah, constellations are free but underwhelming. Only one per element seems worth. Also, Travelers are actually a big resource sink. For every element you need to grind talent books, if at the very least normal talent was not lost after converting element type. But nah, even that needs to be upgraded again. And yeah, not being able to switch elements using some type of hotkey or something, it's also one of the biggest issue, and I get really annoyed by this whenever I use the Traveler. Their only good feature is that their normal attack ratio isn't bad and ends with 60% ratio for their element. There's simply better options, like Anemo Traveler is outclassed by pretty much other Anemo characters because the Traveler pushes enemies away and lacks range. Although the same could be said to Jean in a way, but Jean has a lot of more utility since she can heal. Geo Traveler is not as bad as people think, but if you are using a Geo support for a Petra build, then Ningguang is just more reliable. And for Electro character, literally any other Electro character is better than the Traveler. I think he is the least good Electro character. Still, he's just character we learned to play game. We played first few chapters with the Traveler, and then we learned how to pull, and after that, it was goodbye Traveler. Yeah, a lot of people also hate the elemental skills because it can make enemies stand on the top if you don't aim for it. In early parts of the game, the Traveler has some fairly powerful attacks, and he also possessed the unique ability to switch between elements. Currently, we can change between Anemo, Geo and Electro with the help of the Statue of 7. However, this ability has become less important the longer Genshin Impact story has gone on, and as Genshin Impact continues, getting new and better characters like Eula, Bal and others, the Traveler becomes the less important and weak in comparison. Well, weak is not a good thing to say. We can can say that Traveler isn't weak, but there are better options available to replace him. And yeah, his Palm Vortex on Anemo Traveler, for example, does the exact opposite of what people want in Anemo skill. Jean, Venti and Sucrose all have the ability to group enemies together so they all get hit by what you throw at them, while Palm Vortex spreads them out. His Elemental Burst does group things together, but it just feels like a bad version of Venti's burst. And yes, Sucrose, which is a star rating below Traveler, is still better because Sucrose abilities let her boost her teammates' elemental mastery, and Geo Traveler's E is just a basic Geo skill that does one hit and it's done. Well, I think Noel and Ningguang's E are much better. And yeah, same we can say with the Electro version of the Traveler. But yeah, we can say that the Geo Traveler skills are a lot more defensive than Anemo Traveler. And if anyone thinks that Geo defensive is good, then Noel can fill that exact same slot way better than the Traveler. So in my opinion, all characters in this game are good. They all have their time and place to shine. None of them suck like people say they do, but sometimes the other options are better. All the characters are at least A tier if you wanna rank them, so I don't think it matters what the character tier list articles say. Genshin is unlike any other gacha game I've ever played in the sense that every unit is perfectly usable. If you like a unit, then you can use them. But yeah, what are the problems with the Traveler aside from the gameplay? Well, his visuals. Even with all the exotic clothing emphasis in the beginning, the Traveler simply looks plain, especially compared to the last 6 or the new 5-star characters. Although I like the clothing on both Traveler variants, I can't help but feel it's rather lackluster. Of course, they can be fixed with skins, and it's probably the only skin I'd actually consider paying for. And yeah, my proposal to fix the Traveler would be making the Traveler's constellations harder to get, and his constellations should be changed. At least he should have the ability to compete with the other characters. So yeah, it goes without saying that new Traveler elements should have much more higher talent, damage and scaling, which is currently not good, and potentially having talent levels carry over. And yeah, giving some buff to the Traveler, like increasing his base attack, making his animations a lot cooler. But the most important thing I think MiHoYo should consider is switching elements whenever we want into the battle, and it would be acceptable and understandable and more fun to play with the Traveler if we don't need to get to the statue again and again to switch our elements. Well, these are all the changes I would love to see in the Traveler. And now let's ask other players about what they think about the Traveler. So first, I asked this guy named Eternity. So I asked him or her about why no one grounds Traveler or why no one use him in the late game, and he gave a simple response. He was like, because we have other better characters options than the Traveler. And yeah, that's actually true. Well, next one we have Ares, the god of war. So I asked him the same question. And did I told you that I was just talking to other players like I'm doing a little survey and all? So yeah, his response is similar to previous one, like we have better character options than the Traveler. I feel sad for the Traveler now, but play some sad music. Okay, next one I asked Alina. Well, his answer was a bit different. Alina said he or she doesn't know how to build the Traveler. Well, that's strange. And Alina also said that other characters makes us curious about their skills and talents. What do you think, Hilly Trolls? Is this true? Write down your opinions in the comments. And yeah, next one we have Ayanok OG. I'm sorry if I spelled it wrong. So yeah, he said that because Traveler has low fighting power as compared to other characters. I mean, he was right after all. And next one we have Walid. He gave a simple and straight to the point answer. He said because he is weak, just directly the Traveler is weak. Well, no arguing about that. Next, Yokes told me the same response as the first two, that most of the players have better options than the Traveler. And yeah, the last one I asked was a Korean guy, I guess. I cannot pronounce the name. And yeah, he said it's a 5-star character and the performance is very bad and the new player users don't use him often. So yeah, these were all the responses from some players, and I guess most of them have the basic reason that Traveler is a very weak 5-star character and there are better options available than the Traveler. But yeah, what do you guys think about the Traveler? Comment down below. I would love to hear your thoughts about the Traveler. And now I will see you in the next video. Thanks for watching.